Henry McClure Live. I'm here at the Glass Houses studio, which is home of the Ryan Mulwinkle empire of commercial real estate. It's also home to MCRE LLC, America's broker. Okay, I'm just spitballing here, but let's just say, just out of the blue, somebody doesn't understand the debt in Lawrence Bay. Okay, so first let's start at the beginning real quick. Jim Klossman sold Gene Yanni the land. And Jim Klossman and Gene Yanni, the original developer, were in cahoots. And none of this has anything to do with hating Jim Klossman. It's the truth. I emailed him the other day, got an email fast. I never get a phone call from the mayor back. I never get an email back from the mayor. The only time the mayor has ever called me is when Jim Klossman told him to put me on the Jetto, the Jetto agenda. I'm not kidding you. You can't make this stuff up. So, there's no hate. Oh, man. In fact, Earl McIntosh thinks we're old buddies from whenever. But anyway, what I like about Jim is, hey, we'll sit at the table and talk it out. He goes, I like some of your ideas. Maybe one of them. But whatever. So I don't dislike Jim. Hey, as a matter of fact, you want to see something? I'll show you something there. This is kind of interesting. Go to the studio. See, look at this. There's his office right there. I was the original developer of that building. It was back when Garlinghouse and Carl Carlson were in the banking business together. So when the developer, Gene Yanni, proposed this deal to the city, there were bonds sold for the specials. And when Gene Yanni rolled craps and was out, and really, there are some people that can tell you Gene Yanni was run out of town. It was like they decided they were done with Gene. Man, I remember they were slow playing Gene on, the city was slow playing him. And I know more about Gene than I want to talk about and won't. Look at that, I shaved too much. Bruce, you got to clean this up. But listen, Jim Klossman actually lives in Gene Yanni's old house. This stuff is thick as thieves. Look, you guys don't understand how corrupt in this, what problems there are. When the dam broke, they put they floated more bonds. They put special payments for bond repair on lots that hadn't paid taxes in 5 years. So there's no hate for Jim Klossman. But I've hated the government, how the government has been negligent. So what makes property taxes go up is higher expenses. And since Jim's not making the bond payments out there, and Jim will tell you, and Jim tells the universe that, well, I never intended on paying it. We'll bring up another bank president, Mary Hawks. Kurt Kuda, at whatever the Core First is now. So Yeah, Jim Klossman will say, yeah, go talk to that bank guy. He'll tell you that I never intended on developing those lots. So if you don't really understand how this whole thing works, if you don't really understand how this works, I'll explain it slower and more articulate. I might even write it down. But I'm not doing this back and forth with this Mary Hawks anymore today. Because she doesn't know me. She doesn't understand. And here's the thing about it. Jim Klossman is a huge success. Hard worker. Man, he's in a very lucrative field. It turns out his revenues last year were $98.1 million. He's doing good. But you know something? He can get out of the way today by just giving the lots to the land bank and Jim's going to fall on his own sword. It won't. I'm not pushing him. I'm just pointing out the facts. And yeah, I think he owns that bank. So what? Pointing out his assets. Why is that hate? The people that pay the bond payments probably might have some resentments. But the citizens of this town have been making the bond payments. It's not like it's a debt out there. You know, we've had to make the bond payments. Yeah. So why do we do a business with the guy that doesn't pay his way? Well, I never intended on developing those lots. Okay, give them to the land bank. I still don't think people understand what's going on. But that's my shot at it.